Like most Subaru owners, during the course of 11 years of owning Subarus, I've owned my fair share of different models. I have owned and have rented a couple of Subarus. In total, I say I had 5 Subarus in total, and I've rented 2 in the past. So you may be asking, why am I so invested in these vehicles? Why are people giving Subaru such a bad reputation all of a sudden? Is it a problem in the end, or is the owner's fault for not taking care of their vehicles? Well, in this video, you're probably going to find out my opinion. Alright, I think I want to do this video, I want to kind of get this off my chest about why people hate Subaru because of its unreliability. Let me tell you something, Subaru has perfected everything since the 1970s or the 1980s. They perfected the all-wheel drive system. They improved the boxer engine design. They used the air-cooled boxer engine from the Volkswagen Beetle that just first came out, but that was more in Germany. This is a Japanese model that used the boxer engine, and they've perfected it for so many decades. And you see more of these people hate Subaru because it's a boxer engine. They have air-cooled, and that leads to blown head gaskets. Well, in that case, here's a question. Is it the person's fault for owning the Subaru and not maintaining it? Or is it the actual brand itself that's having all these problems because they can't perfect the boxer engine design? Well, let's go back a little bit. Subaru started in Japan by Heavy Fuji Industries in 1953, and they made a cheap little K car, and then they made scooters. They made a little cheap K car that first arrived in the United States in the 1960s by Malcolm Brickman. Malcolm Brickman, he took Subaru, made it go to America. And this is where it performs a crash test. Now, Subaru was unreliable back in the day because of the K car. They were deemed unsafe, and you look at videos of the old K car going through a wall, and it literally crumbles into a cube, literally. And that's why people will hate Subarus back in the day, because it's unreliable. They're not safe. Well, Subaru has evolved over time with their safety. They're the most safest vehicles you can think of. They have eyesight detection. Well, the Subaru Forester I had, the 2012, does not have the eyesight feature. The newer Subarus do. They have the laser lane dividers. They have the safety, the SOS buttons up there. And like I said, they have known for the safety since then. Now, let's go to why people hate Subarus. Now, people hate Subarus because of the boxer engine design, and they always known for head gasket issues. In that case, why would you buy a Subaru and beat the hell out of it? And why would you not spend a lot of money on maintaining and fixing your vehicles, doing a proper oil change, not proper break-in periods? Well, that is why your Subaru has an issue. Subarus are known for, they've known for their most reliability with their boxer engines. They've approved their boxer engine. This is a 2012 Subaru Forester. Right here is a FB25B. They did not use the I forgot what it was called. But they changed it in 2011 to the FB25s. And like I said, they're known for the oil consumption issues. I get that. But, this is 11 years old. It never even had a oil consumption issue, even with the FB25Bs, which they're known for. They're so unreliable with the FB25Bs is because you're not properly maintaining your vehicle. You're not giving it an oil change every 4,000 to 5,000 miles. And that kind of pisses me off and say, I always get the hate that, oh, you drive a Subaru, how's your head gaskets? Well, why are you beating the hell out of your vehicle if you're having this issue? Well, I should tell these people, have you ever been in a Subaru? Have you ever maintained or worked on a Subaru before? And like I said, have you ever got your hands into a Subaru boxer engine? I have. I have many of these. I have so many practices changing spark plugs. Changing spark plugs is kind of hard in the boxer engine because you do have to dig your hands all the way in, because remember, it's sideways. So they're not your up and down pistons, they're sideways. So that means you kind of have to stick your hand in the area for your spark plugs. I mean, yeah, boxer engines are difficult. Yes, I get that. But it's no excuse to still do maintenance to it. Hell, you can go to a shop that knows about Subarus. You can go to a Subaru dealer. They can help you with. There's a lot of really good technicians out there in your local area. Just find the best one that knows what they're doing in order to fix your problems. Now, let's talk about Donut Media, for example. Donut Media has made a multi-stage videos talking about Subarus, how they took project-built Subaru WRXs. They had a 2006 and 2007, 2005 Subaru WRX multiple times. They've kind of had a bad reputation with their videos, and they're kind of getting a little ridicule on their videos. And let me tell you something, Donut Media, I'm a big fan of Donut Media. I know they're very genetic, really, but with their Subaru series, you kind of feel like they're just putting hate on Subaru. They're saying it's their fault because of these issues. Well, if you look at the video, what's actually happening, well, they took a Project WRX STI and they clearly stated that they have a braking period when they rebuilt their engine for 200 miles. See, a braking period for a new car and a new engine is between 500 to 1,000 miles. This is because of the oil has to lubricate every part and every crank. Make sure that all the pistons are going up and down, and make sure that, you know, it's all settled, really. That's why they have 500 to 1,000 miles every time you buy a new car or a new engine. See, this varies from engine or new car. Some, it's going for 2,000 miles on a braking period. That depends. But you have to maintenance that car for that braking period for make sure that everything works. And also, let's talk about these people beating the hell out of these vehicles by putting turbochargers. See, why would you put a turbocharger on a Subaru that only gets about 170 horsepower? This Subaru Forester gets 170 horsepower. Imagine if I put a turbo in it and a turbo boxer engine head gasket. You know how much destruction and detonation this will have? Well, guess what? It will have so much detonation because this is only 170 horsepower and that is it. 0 to 60 in 8.6 seconds. That's it. It's not a race car by any stretch of the imagination. So people beat the hell out of these vehicles thinking, oh, they're so fast and they're so cool. Well, guess what? Some of these things they're not race cars by any stretch of the imagination. These SUVs, the Subaru Outback or the Subaru Forester, they're not, and the Subaru Crosstreks even. The Subaru Crosstreks only get 152 horsepower, and they're too slow, I get that, but they're not meant as race cars. They're the subcompact SUVs. These are full-on SUVs. Subaru Crosstreks are the crossover of the Subaru Forester and the Subaru Outback, in competing with the Honda CR-V and the Toyota, and with Toyota as well, their subcompact crossover. And like I said, these SUVs aren't race cars by any stretch of the imagination. You take it on a drag strip, it will get trashed by an actual race car, of course, because 0 to 60 in 8.6 seconds compared to a 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds, that's pretty slow compared to the GTR or something. Because these are not race cars by any stretch of the imagination. The second generation Subaru Forester, these are very good cars to actually maintenance and all that stuff. And actually, I've seen a lot of these that you can actually customize into a STI, a Subaru Forester STI, which, they are meant, you can rebuild a new engine or buy a new engine that's more horsepower, more energy. You can add a turbocharger, but only for that powerful of an engine. Now, this is an FB25B, I get that. They're very slow engines because they're not race car engines. And these are just normal generic SUV engines. And I said they have, and now there's one thing I might give Subaru for their design back then. Well, was the graphite coated head gaskets. That's on Subaru. I get that. Now, people give Subaru a class action lawsuit for no reason. Now, for their own dumb idea, saying, I'm going to put a turbocharger in a turbocharged head gasket, and, well, I'm just going to put a class action lawsuit and sue them. it's not the company's fault. It's your fault to put a turbocharged on a less powerful engine, a blowing head gasket because you added another layer on it. Well, that's your fault. Now, you have to pay a lot of money on your end to break your engine and just rebuild it or get a new one. You can't put a class action lawsuit on a problem that they didn't even do. That's just kind of what's bothered me, why they hate Subarus. They just put a class action lawsuit even though it's their fault for not doing the proper maintenance in a Subaru. Well, I rest my case. Sorry about this video, it's just kind of little, I just want to get it out before it burns daylight, because I know it's burning daylight. But I want to make this quick rant about this video, just Subaru stuff. Expect more Subaru content later in the near future. I'm going to be starting working. I'm going to start working soon. I'm going to save up my own vehicle. I'm going to buy a Subaru Crosstrek. I'm going to do a review of that very, very, very soon. Probably around the summer, maybe later half of the year. So expect some content with the Crosstrek when I get it. More content with the Forester and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Driven Gears Automotive signing out.